Well, we've picked a nice warm day in Jackson County, Georgia to hang out along a creek, and you know, we've all been there. Maybe you've got an aquarium at home, a freshwater tank with some fish in it, and maybe you're at the point where I don't really know what to do with these little guys, these little fish anymore. Could I release them into a creek or stream like this, native in Georgia, and be done with it? Well, I want you to think again, and I'm going to introduce you to a person that will encourage you to think again about releasing fish into a place like this, and that's Sarah McNair. Hey, Sarah.
Hey, Ranger Nick.
It's good to be with you today. Now listen, Sarah McNair is a graduate student in the Warnell School of Forestry and Natural Resources and has had to put up with me in a class or two, so I appreciate you still wanting to hang out together.
Absolutely.
Sarah, we're out here. We've got some scientists behind us sampling fish.
Yes.
What are we looking for today? And how could this relate to a potentially non-native fish that we need to know about?
So today we are sampling Bear Creek. We are right below the Bear Creek water reservoir. We are looking at the overall fish community today, and we're hoping to not see any invasive fish, but that's not always going to be the case.
Not always, right?
Not
Especially
always.
we're dealing with folks out there that might have an aquarium.
Yes.
And I came to realize from Dr. Shelton, who we'll meet just in a second, that about 2 years ago, in a creek just outside of Athens, a fish called a weather loach,
Yes.
or a dojo loach, as might be known in the aquarium industry, was found in a local creek. And this is not a native fish, right?
It is not.
So it ain't supposed to be there.
Yes, they're native to East Asia, actually.
Okay, so why is that a problem for native fish like we might have here?
So particularly here in Georgia, we have a lot of state-threatened and otherwise endangered species, such as the Altamaha shiner, and places where we have found the weatherfish and dojo loach. These places also have the Altamaha shiner, and we're concerned that it may be consuming the eggs of that fish and also competing with them for food, as well as they just don't belong there and they can cause other disruptions.
So think about this non-native fish coming in, out-competing a native threatened species of fish and trying to understand that population distribution. That's what y'all are doing today, and what I want to do now is go to Dr. Jay Shelton, who we've seen on the segment before over the years, talk about how they're studying this dojo fish, this dojo loach, this weather loach that comes from aquarium stores that have been released and what impact it's having on communities. So let's go there next. Well, a regular to the show, Dr. Jay Shelton, good to be with you again, Doc. So Sarah was just talking about sampling native fish species in this creek. Why do that when what you're really interested in, it sounds like, is that weather loach?
Right. We are interested in the weather loach. What we need to do is to be able to assess the fish community as a whole, because what we're really interested in is all the parts and how they fit together. That tells us about the ecological health of this stream. So over the course of this study, we'll be comparing healthy fish communities where there are weather loaches and fish communities where there are no weather loaches to see if we see any differences between the two.
That's interesting. And you and I were talking before we got on camera together today about you can determine from a DNA standpoint where potentially a weather loach came from in terms of a pet store. Talk to us about this DNA piece.
Yeah, those are really, cutting edge new tools in our toolbox as resource managers in general, not just for fish, but it really is a valuable tool when we're trying to assess where it fits in with the other things. So we're sampling fish today, and we can get tissue from a fish, but all of us, every living thing sloughs DNA into the environment. So one of the things we're looking to do is see if we can do some investigative studies where we sample the water and see if there's eDNA from that species in it.
Wow, eDNA, environmental DNA.
DNA.
And just imagine how non-invasive that is to get a water sample to be able to say what was in this.
Right.
Talk about detective work. I mean, that's incredible.
Well, these are new tools, and we're trying to investigate where they fit in with everything else that we already use. But wouldn't it be great if we could come out to a stream, take a sample of water, bring it back to the lab, do all the analysis, all the processing, and it would basically print off what we found there in terms of the various species of fish.
Interesting. And Dr. Shelton is leading the way in this with the Warnell School of Forestry and Natural Resources in determining some of this fishy activity that's going on here, Doc. Incredible stuff. I want to end it today by talking about what can you at home do if you happen to maybe find one of these fish. Where do we go from there? So let's go there next. Well, what you're looking at there, according to Dr. Shelton, is ideal weather loach habitat. You've got still water, barely moving, some coarse woody debris in there, and some leaves tied up in that. Very, very nice home for a weather loach. Now, Doc, if I've got something like that on my property, and I happen to go out there and I find what looks like we're seeing on the screen, that weather loach, what do I do?
Well, there's a big issue that we're really concerned about statewide and really nationally, and that's aquatic nuisance species, and the weather loach is one of those. So what do you do if you have something and you're not sure what it is, you want to get it identified, and you can contact your Georgia DNR, you can contact your county extension office, you can reach out to us. The best thing is to have a really good solid picture that we can use to help to ID it.
So kind of like citizen science work we talk a lot about with our smartphones. Take a picture, share it with a professional, and get it ID'd. And now, if you've got an aquarium at home, freshwater aquarium, got beautiful plants and fish in there, and you just don't want to take care of it any longer. We've talked about today how bad it is to release all that stuff into a local stream. What can I do with it if I don't release it?
Yeah, any type of aquarium, freshwater, saltwater, whether it's fish, whether it's plants, whether it's invertebrates like crayfish, please don't release them back into the environment. You have the potential to do so much harm, and you have very little likelihood that that animal is going to thrive in that environment. So what do? Again, contact your local DNR group. You can contact your local county extension office or contact us. We can help you find a new home for that animal.
Wow, and how humane that is to do instead of releasing it and having that kind of an impact. Doc, thanks for today.
Sure.
What a pleasure to be with you again. I hope you all enjoyed this and learned some things you can do and not do with those native and non-native fish. Well, y'all know what to do while you're online learning more about those fish and aquatic nuisance species. Check out the Farm Monitor Facebook page, see what's going on there, and the Ranger Nick Facebook page. And until next time, for the Farm Monitor, I'm Ranger Nick, reminding you, as I always do, that enthusiasm is contagious. So pass it on. Y'all, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you right back here again next month. See ya.